going to join me? Come on then. Come on. No, she's worried now. Just carry on filming. Come on, Colin. Hey, good girl. There you are. You're so beautiful. Shall I read you from the book? Shall I? Here we go. I hear your voice, those silent whispers that nevertheless are clear, loud and profound. I hear your love, which touches my heart with a soft kiss whenever I am with you. I hear your soul guide me as I walk through the maze of ignorance and greed on planet Earth. I hear you as an equal, for I am nothing without the whole, and you are part of the miracle that is the universe. I will hear you always, knowing how you hear me, in your mind, in your heart, and in your soul. You're so beautiful. You are so beautiful. You are so beautiful. You're so beautiful.
So has he talked to you this morning?
He's okay, you know, that's what he's saying today. I'm okay. I've gone through that terrible time and I'm coping and I'm happier. And it's great to see that. I can see it in his eyes, I can see it in his body and just the way he is.
And it was my first dog who unfortunately had a bad spate of kennel cough and then developed a lump on her lungs and her heart, and I asked Margrit to come in and heal her, which on recommendation of the homeopathic vet, and my dogs just loved it, and it just gave a better quality of life later
He wants
on.
to talk about now and the future and all of the exciting things that was going on, and last time it was all very heavy. It was all thinking of the past, thinking of the insecurities.
In fact, I have Margrit every 6 weeks to just check my dogs over and give me peace of mind, and the dogs absolutely love it. They're absolutely conked out for the rest of the day.
You know, and I watch them while I'm healing and I feel so humbled that something good is happening. Peace mentally, emotionally and physically. I just find that amazing.
I mainly found out about animal healing through my physiotherapist because of Mannequin. And I don't believe that you help horses just medically. I think you need to help them emotionally. If a horse is in a good place or an animal's in a good place emotionally, it will heal better. If it's upset and stressed, then it can't heal.
Yeah, I must admit, I can sense little differences in him. It's not like there was a miraculous change and he became a different dog, but
he's
just little
improved.
things.
So just listening, and it feels good. One of the benefits of healing is it helps us to understand our animals. It draws us closer to them. The communication helps us to know what they're thinking and feeling, what their needs are. It helps us as humans to better understand animals, which is really important because there's so much myth and so many misunderstandings about animals. Humans tend to want to dominate every other being that comes into their lives. When we can hear what they're saying, when we can hear their communication, their story, it helps us to be more humane. And it means that our life is much more fun. We can have much more fun with the animals that we're associating with, that we spend time with, that we meet, when we understand them and when they see us as beings of light, as a species that when we touch, help them to feel better. So how's he been, Michelle?
Yeah, okay.
We've got the oak pollen
The head, yeah, his head shaking.
sensitivity again. And how's the Lyme's disease?
It kind of goes up and down really. He'll have days that he's really good and days that he's really tired.
But he's looking well.
Yeah.
He's looking well.
I mean, he's consistently okay with the Lyme's in the summer. But his head shaking has started because the oak pollen's just come out.
See if I can help you with that. So the way I work when I'm meeting the horse, or any animal really, but particularly the horses, is I make the connection over the major 8th chakra, which is over the shoulder area, and listen to the horse's energy. I need to match the resonance of that individual being. So I'm matching his energy system. And the healing energy flows in then through me, out through my hands. And I'm listening to what's happening as that effectively flows through his body. The channeling of healing energy is different to veterinary medicine because they are prescribing drug medication, or maybe herbs or homeopathy if it's a holistic vet. So that's working physically, sometimes emotionally, or if it's a behavioural problem. But what this type of healing does is it brings in a force of energy that's something extra. So the drugs work with the energy, the power of the drugs, the medication. Homeopathic remedies work with the energy of the remedy or the herbs. But laying on the hands, channeling, being a conduit for that other force of energy, brings in something else. It's actually allowing the universal energy to match the blueprint of the animal. Ever since I was a child, I've sensed the energy of other beings. I've sensed that these non-human animals were someone. I always felt there was someone walking around in the body of the dog or the cat or the horse or the bird or the farm animals. They weren't just animals, that they were communicating, they were talking, they had thoughts and feelings, and I sensed that just his general energy rhythm is as good as it's ever been.
Yeah, he's
licking and chewing again,
he's
sleepy.
in a good headspace at the moment.
So there's a lot of energy blockage on the physical side and the musculoskeletal system today. And I'm just, as I put my hands here, I can sense that flowing through to this shoulder. That was a big flicker. Oh, and can you see it? Can you see it flash pulsing through here? Just watch there. Can you see that? And it's doing it again. So there's something that's coming out there. That's nice.
Mannequin does get a lot of issues, physical issues and injuries, and only quite small ones. And because of his emotional state, he doesn't always show it. So he might just become very tight in his body, quite upset, quite easily, quite stressed.
And he's gone much more relaxed. I mean, look at him now. He's just dropping and becoming sleepy, and his outline's changed. So he looks smaller because the tension's gone. People often say, you know, can you recall the first time you gave healing, experiences that you had? And it's very hard because there have been so many, but I think if I go back to when I was a child, stopping where there was injured wildlife, picking up those those creatures, those beings, and holding them in my hands. And at that time, not realising I was channeling healing energy, but feeling that I wanted to help, feeling that I could help, and holding them, and being aware of a heat in my hands. Sometimes those creatures would recover and run off, and sometimes they'd pass away, but whatever the outcome was, I felt I'd helped. I just felt I needed to do that, to do that act of kindness, to do that act of being there and connecting on that level. And then, of course, as time went on, and in my 20s, I joined a formal healing group and developed the way of being a healer and became a registered healer. So with time, I began to understand what was going on. I was probably the first full-time animal healer in the world, focusing on animal healing. My books are published worldwide, which means I am invited to teach all around the world, workshops and give lectures. What I teach is how animals communicate. People come to my workshops so they can develop their own skills and abilities. People come never having given healing before or communicated, and find they can express themselves and develop through the workshops. I'm often asked if everybody can be a healer, if everybody can communicate, and of course we all have the potential. The decision is ours. Do we want to listen? Do we want to tune in? Everyone who makes that decision has the ability to channel healing energy. Everyone who wants to hear the messages, the voice of animals, has the ability.
Oh my God, it's like it's pressing.
Yeah,
pressing into your hand.
It
yeah.
is. It's really hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Horses are so giving, aren't they?
Yeah.
They read the truth, so they know what you're offering.
He's a great teacher as well.
And they know
you're
whether
prepared
you're
to listen.
authentic.
Yeah.
And they don't like fantasy horses.
No, he has to know the truth.
Yeah.
You can't con him. You definitely can't con him.
With animals, you can't have a placebo effect. Whether it's healing or other areas of complementary medicine like homeopathy or acupuncture, because they don't have that same preconceived idea. All animals understand healing energy. It's natural to them. They're healing each other through the same process. They're all tuning in. The human species, the human race, is dominant and has created a lot of havoc and a lot of destruction on the planet. We need to take our responsibility seriously. Why should we create that and not do something about it? Why should we be happy that there is so much suffering among the animals? One of the most profound experiences I've had as an animal healer communicator was with Anne the elephant, Britain's last circus elephant. The look in her eye was dead. There was no one there. Her eyes were unfocused, unseeing, total shock. Not just for what had happened recently, but her whole life. Losing the herd, the breaking of the spirits, the torment of the tricks, chained in tents for the years of travelling in the circus. A living hell. And I said, Anne, it's me. I'm here. I'll do whatever I can to help. And I reached up and I put my hand lightly on her shoulder. And as I did that, she turned her head And she looked at me, and those unfocused eyes suddenly looked at me. I could see who she was, and tears ran down her face. And I said to the keepers, she's crying. And they just looked, and she cried. Her face was wet. And I just kept my hand there. And I said, I'm so sorry. I can't explain why humans have done this. Not just to you, but to all creatures on this planet who are suffering. Why? What's gone wrong with the human species? I'm sorry, I can't explain it. Non-human animals have lost a lot of choice, a lot of freedom, and we have we need to take that responsibility seriously, that we don't just stamp on everything, wipe everything out and ignore that sentience, ignore the voice of the animals. Be a voice of the voiceless, and allow those who are mute to speak through you, so wrongdoings can cease. We are unable to fight for our rights, but we have you to speak on our behalf. This is our greatest hope for a better world. We read the consciousness of the universe, moments of truth, our pleasure. Join each one of us in the dance of love, for when you know who we are, communication flows between us.